Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormus back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video today. We're going to be talking about my movies and TV shows that I watched last week, and you're going to even add a pay-per-view into this one, which we'll talk about momentarily, but didn't watch any TV shows last week, but bro, I was busy last week. I watched fucking 14 movies, I believe, so, yeah, and I watched a pay-per-view. I watched a couple of MNJ TV videos of him playing Pokemon Scarlet, so those were like an hour to an hour and a half each as well. So pretty much watched things nonstop this week. Yeah, so I watched WWE Survivor Series War Games as well, which was pretty good. I'm not adding it to this list, but figured I'd let you guys know. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Definitely the best match was that triple threat between Lashley, Theory, and Rollins. I just spit out a bubble. I was sick. Alright, so let's get into the list. So my least favorite watch from last week was Too Fast, Too Furious, which I ranked a 65 out of 100. Not a great movie. Never thought this was a great movie. I've never really enjoyed this movie. I think it's decent, but unless I'm ever actually going through every Fast and Furious movie, which I did this week, I probably will never watch this movie again. Anyways, we'll move on to Dodgeball, a true underdog story, which I ranked a 67 out of 100. I'm not a big fan of comedies. This is a decent comedy, to be fair, but I'm not a huge fan of it. And yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Similarly, I've never really enjoyed this movie. It's fine. It's a 67 out of 100 for me. It's decent, again, excuse me, but just never really enjoyed the movie that much. And then we'll move on to the good category. Up next, we have Kick-Ass 2. It's a first watch for me, or first time watch for me. I've never watched the Kick-Ass movies. I watched both this week. Anyways, Kick-Ass 2 at a 70 out of 100. I think it's good. I think it's a big step down from the first, though. So, with that being said, we'll move on to F9, which is Fast and Furious 9, which I ranked a 73 out of 100. I do think it is a good movie. I think it's pretty entertaining for the most part. Honestly, some of the best cinematography in the Fast and Furious universe, and yeah, honestly, I thought it was a good movie. It was a first time watch for me as well. First time I'd ever watched it. I heard it was so bad you shouldn't even see it in theaters, so I've waited a long time, but I did enjoy it, and it probably helps that I watched every other Fast and Furious before that movie, but nonetheless, we'll move on to Fast and Furious, which I believe is number 4. I do enjoy this one. Again, not really one I'm revisiting by any means, but a 76 out of 100, which I thought was pretty good. Then moving on to Hobbs and Shaw, which I ranked a 78 out of 100. Honestly, the only thing that's holding this movie back for me is the family drama, I guess, in it. I don't know. I think this is a hilarious movie. It's by far the funniest in the Fast and Furious franchise, and I think it's fucking hilarious. I was cackling, but I've seen this movie a couple times. There's definitely replayability or rewatchability, I should say, from Hobbs and Shaw, which is good, but yeah, nothing too great. So, moving on to The Fate of the Furious, which I ranked an 81 out of 100, which I believe is number 8, or Fast and Furious 8. So, in my opinion, a pretty great movie. Almost good, just barely hits the grade. Oh my god. I'm sorry, my dogs are going wild with their bones. Anyways, let's move on to the OG The Fast and the Furious number 1, which I ranked at 86 out of 100. I think this is a really great movie. Definitely worth a rewatch. I think it holds up still very well, considering it came out like 21 years ago, which is insane. Because Fast and Furious started the year I was born, I believe, in 2001, so that's pretty insane. And yeah, these were some of my biggest movies in my childhood, especially Fast and Furious 5 through 7. Those are kind of more my teenage years, but still, we'll get into those momentarily. So, with that being said, we'll move on to Furious 7, which I ranked an 88 out of 100. Obviously, this one is very outlandish, very unrealistic. Most of these movies are, but this one is entertaining as hell, and I love it. It's fantastic. We'll move on to number 4 now, or from this week, Kick-Ass, which I ranked at 89 out of 100. A really great movie that I really, really enjoyed. Yeah, definitely worth the watch. Again, a first-time watch for me. it was absolutely worth the watch, and I really, really enjoyed it. So now on to the top three for this week. At number three, we have Fast and Furious 6, which I ranked a 91 out of 100. I love this movie. 5 and 6 are my favorites from the Fast and Furious franchise. And yeah, this movie's amazing, in my opinion. I absolutely love this movie. But with that being said, we'll move on to the Guardians Christmas special, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which was pretty entertaining. It was pretty funny. Shout out to Kevin Bacon, which I ranked a 91 out of 100 as well. I thought it was pretty amazing. And yeah, of course, I love the Guardians, so I'm excited to see what happens next with them. But moving on to my favorite watch of the week, we have Fast 5, which I ranked a 93 out of 100. So I just zoomed through those. Like I said, I've watched a fuck ton of things this week. And it's insane amount. I've watched 14 movies slash short films, I guess you can consider Guardians. So 13 movies, a short film in the Guardians holiday special. I watched a almost 4-hour WWE pay-per-view, and I watched, I think, 3 videos from MJ TV, him playing through Pokemon Scarlet, and they were at least an hour to an hour and a half. So yeah, I watched a lot last week. So with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on some of the movies that I talked about today. Let me know your thoughts on Survivor Series if you watched it. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.